What's going on, my fellow rock and rollers? Don't forget to hit the bell notification icon to be notified every time I put out a new video on my channel. You know, I really got into Alice in Chains back in 2009. The band had their record Black Gives Way to Blue coming out that year, and it was their long-awaited return following the death of singer Layne Staley. William Duvall, who had previously toured with guitarist Jerry Cantrell, was now the group's singer, and he had big shoes to fill. Of course, I didn't know anything about Staley, so I did what most self-respecting people do when they want to learn about something. I went on Wikipedia, as Michael Scott so eloquently puts it.
Wikipedia is the best thing ever. Anyone in the world can write anything they want about any subject, so you know you are getting the best possible information.
I read, of course, about singer Layne Staley's final years of his life, and everywhere I read about him, the same interview kept coming up. It was this highly quoted interview with an author named Adriana Rubio, who supposedly interviewed the singer days or weeks before he passed. Staley apparently told the author he knew his time was near and he was crippled by his addiction. He talked about his regrets and how his addiction was all-consuming. He also discussed his complicated relationship with his parents, especially his father, who was an addict, and going into treatment, and would slam his Alice in Chains bandmates, claiming they were no longer his friends. But what shocked me the most about this whole interview is that big news sites were picking up on it as if it was gospel. But there was no proof it ever happened. There's no tape recordings or anything. So what was the story behind it, and was it fake? Stay tuned to find out. One thing that was a well-known fact about Layne Staley was that he didn't grant a ton of interviews, especially in his later years. His last notable appearance was on Rockline in 1999 during an interview with the other members of Alice in Chains who came out to promote their Nothing Safe box set. Before that, he appeared on Rockline the year before when guitarist Jerry Cantrell was promoting Boggy Depot. And prior to that, he gave a few interviews to promote the band's self-titled album in 1995, the most notable one being the Rolling Stone interview, which I've previously covered on my channel. The link is down below to go check it out. The Rolling Stone interview angered the band, as the group's manager was promised by the magazine they wouldn't focus on Staley's struggle with drugs. Of course, the piece talked a fair bit about it, and even the cover used the headline, "The Needle and the Damage Done." It was no surprise in the years that followed he retreated from the media spotlight. I found it rather odd that he'd give an interview and talk so openly about his addiction, when at the same time he wrote songs like Grind, which I thought took aim at the media for making assumptions and focusing on rumors about the band as well as the drugs and them breaking up. Why would he only reinforce their views? Rubio's interview was part of a book she was working on at the time that came out in January of 2003 titled Layne Staley's Angry Chair, a look inside the heart and soul of an incredible musician. Rubio would claim she talked to Staley at 3 a.m. over the phone on February 3, 2002. Due to the timing of the publication, of course, and the fact that Layne passed away in April of 2002, he could never publicly comment on whether the interview happened. Rubio's interview wouldn't get news coverage until 2003, and she would release an updated version of her book in 2006 titled Layne Staley, Get Born Again. Rubio, for her part, claims she spoke to Layne for 2.5 hours, but only 6 pages of her book is dedicated to the conversation. So what did they talk about for 2.5 hours if she only came up with 6 pages? Well, to date, she's never published a transcript or the audio of the conversation, and in the book Alice in Chains, The Untold Story by David DeSola, he dissects this perfectly. Having read numerous interviews with Layne, DeSola claims the speaking style in Rubio's book doesn't sound like Layne. DeSola claims that in all the interviews he's read with Layne, he never referenced any songs or lyrics specifically from both Mad Season or Alice in Chains, but in Rubio's book he supposedly makes 10 references to his own songs or lyrics, and Rubio's book also claims that Layne made reference to Jim Morrison of The Doors, which was another topic Rubio wrote a book about. And things didn't stop there though. Rubio was planning on creating a biopic about Layne. She would team up with author John Brandon, who wrote a book about Alice in Chains with former bassist Mike Starr. The movie project got as far as auditioning someone to play Layne, but the pair got a letter from Alice in Chains' lawyer asking them to shelf the project because it portrayed the band in a negative light, and they would not cooperate. In addition to that, Layne Staley's estate did not endorse the project either. And when David DeSola tried to interview Rubio about her supposed Layne interview, she declined, claiming she had other priorities in life. The book is also notable because it featured interviews with Layne's mother Nancy and his sister Liz, in addition to supposedly featuring artwork and journal entries by the singer. Following the book's release, Layne's sister would comment on the book, confirming that she did talk to Rubio, thinking the book would honor her brother and hopefully make him realize how many people adored him and looked up to him, and perhaps it could snap him out of his addiction. She would claim that she doesn't believe that Rubio spoke to her brother, and she would reveal that she told Layne about Rubio's book and how the journalist wanted to talk to him, but he wanted no part of it, claiming he didn't trust journalists. That does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like button and subscribe. If you guys have suggestions for future topics, let me know in the comment section below. Take care.